The House Ad Hoc Committee probe into the management of the fuel subsidy entered its 8th day today, where more revelations emerged. Independent marketers in the industry were present to highlight issues surrounding their involvement in the subsidy regime. However, Total Nigeria PLC failed to clarify the KPMG audit report, which indicted it of overpayment of the subsidy.
100,000 population to 6 to 5.
The House Ad Hoc Committee probe on the management of fuel subsidy entered its 8th day as more revelations emerged.
Of course, I also said, look, we can source.
The chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service was first to speak on the issue of taxation and the subsidy.
If you recall, I believe it was in the Obama elections for the U.S. president, fuel tax was on the table, was an issue as discussion. So, because it's a major source of revenue for use in development. But government has always been sympathetic to the masses in terms of, or to the consumers, that any tax, we need to manage such a tax, particularly since this is a tax that affects every single person.
The committee also heard the presentation of the managing director of Total Nigeria PLC, a major player in the oil and gas sector.
In 2011, how much is the total subsidy payable to you? Whether you have been paid or you still have outstanding, how much is the total subsidy payable to you in 2011?
The subsidy amount is 16 billion.
16
billion for an amount of 211 million liters.
However, in a bizarre twist, the committee pointed out that the company had been overpaid, even as there were discrepancies in the presentation.
Chacha, we have an audit report commissioned by the Federal Minister of Finance, a KPMG audit report, and it indicated that you were overpaid between 2007 and 2010 to the value of 307,207,676.57.
I can say that in the process of this scheme over the years, if there had been any money overpaid to Total Nigeria, that Total Nigeria has paid back such money to PPPRA, and we have evidence of such money paid back in addition to this over recovery.
The Federal Road Safety Commission was also invited at the hearing, and the court-martial cited that the distortion of fuel prices was responsible for the movement of people from high cost of diesel-powered vehicles to fuel-powered vehicles for mass transit.
If we need 10,000 tankers every day on our roads, I don't see which road from Lagos to Abuja and up to Kanu, up to Maiduguri that these tankers will be plying on. So there is a significant issue here. If we have fuel in Nigeria, are we going to move it by trucks or are we going to pump it by pipelines? And the question then remains, why do we then have to move fuel from all that distance from Lagos to Maiduguri by tankers? The cost of the tanker journey is almost a significant portion in the cost of moving those subsidized fuel.
What is on paper?
Some other oil marketers who appeared before the committee gave their own presentations regarding the fuel subsidy.
A lot. You find in this industry issues like third-party deliveries, as you've seen. For example, some of the majors, although they get allocations, they actually don't import into this industry. They third-party allocate to somebody else, like I think Knightsbridge confirmed to us prior to that. They come here with big numbers and big names and things like that. What we tried to do as a company was to try to create an indigenous trading Nigerian company. We don't have one. What you see is a lot of foreigners coming into this country with absolutely no investment, not even in the citizenship of this country, and yet carry our crude, carry our fuel oil, and carry a lot of other things.
Shuttle vessels in the market are of foreign ownership, as virtually all local vessels lack valid trading documents.
As it stands, the committee has appealed to the various marketers who appeared before it to submit relevant documents, bill of lading, certificate of discharge, and letters of credit for its report to the federal government, saying failure to do so would mean that there are no records that imports were made, though monies were collected. Ayatunde Balogun, Channels Television News.